Hi guys. So, um, we are going to be talking about As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, and we are going to be talking about vision and ideas. The chapter on vision and ideas. And so, he says in the chapter of vision and ideas, he talks about the creators, the artists, poets, sculptors. He talks about all the people that create, that if we didn't have people who created stuff, then and be able to create their dreams and those visions, then the world would not be created as it is. The world would be stagnant. So, and it also says, he also says, to desire is to obtain, to aspire is to achieve. You cannot travel within and stand still without. So, in other words, if you are putting effort forward, there has to be something that's coming forward from that effort. So, in other words, you can't be doing something about creating your dreams without any results at all showing up. Even if it's a little bit. If you're moving at all, then there's going to be a little bit of results, in some form. So, strength of the effort is the measure of results. So, your results produce the visionary of what your efforts have been. And he also says at the last, he says, the vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideas that you enthrone in your heart, this you will build your life by, this you will become. So in other words, you're going to become what you see yourself being. If you don't see yourself as being anything, then you're never going to attain it, and you're never going to achieve being anything at all because you don't see it for yourself. It's like a blank canvas. We have this blank canvas that we start out with of our life, and we get to create whatever we want to on it. But we have to envision it first, because otherwise you're not going to know how to outline it. You're not going to know how to paint it. You're not going to know how to handle what you need to, the details of it. In art, we always see details. And everybody's, oh, look at the details. Look at the details on that. You guys can see on this painting behind me, there's a lot of details. But the thing is, they had to envision those details, because otherwise they wouldn't know to put those details in there. And it's the same with our life. We have to have the vision of what we want. At the end of our life, what do we want our life to look like? What do we want to see ourselves as being, as becoming? Not only as a person, but as our desires, as our wants, as our chief aim in life. What do we want? Because if we don't break that down and really engulf that purpose into a real picture, we're not going to be able to produce it, because it's going to be so big and complicated for us that we're not going to be able, we're going to say, oh, I want this in my life, but I want this too, but without really putting it down and making it a solid detail, then you're going to be just having these ideas just float in your head, and it's going to be hard to put down what you really want to do, what your chief goal for your life is, your chief aim. And so when I create a painting, I have to have a vision for it. I have to picture what I want to make. Because, like, if I didn't see some form of outline, I wouldn't be able to create it. I have to picture this first, know what my goal is to be able to get there. Because if I just started just doing whatever, and I didn't know that I wanted to create this, I wouldn't know to put these details in there. I wouldn't know to do this technique or that one. So we have to do the same thing with our life. You know, I want this. I want to be a writer, or I want to have a coaching business, and I want to help people of this caliber. We have to break that down and segment, or otherwise we're going to be so flabbergasted, as they say, with our details of what we want our life to be like, that we're gonna be occupied with the getting there than with the what we're doing in the first place, like what the goal is. You know, they always say make the decision first, worry about the how later. And that's what we have to do. You have to put those details in there. You have to have a vision for your life, because otherwise you're not going to have a vision, an envision for your efforts. So if you have not read any of James Allen's book, As a Man Thinketh, I suggest you pick it up. It seems like you've got to know what your end result is that you want to have. Like, you know, because you've got to have an outline, you know, an outline for the chief aim. Same way with your life. You know, you have to break it down, because otherwise it's going to be so difficult for you to focus. So if you break it down into steps, you're going to be able to create that picture. But without a vision, you can't have a purpose. And without a vision and an idea, you can't have effort go into that vision and that idea if you don't have one. I hope this helped you guys out. Like I said, if you have not touched the book As a Man Thinketh by James Allen, I suggest you read it. You know, the chapter on vision and ideas, that's a good chapter. It really is. It's not very long at all. It's like 4 or 5 pages, but it's not very long at all. But it really breaks it down to where you can really understand it. So I hope this helped you guys out, and I will see you guys later. Have a great night. Bye, guys.